Once it is 8 o'clock a.m. we start, and we never stop until it is 9:30 a.m. We have three segments to this wonderful programs. We have the first is review. We get to look at issues as we have them trending on our various national dailies and newspapers. After which we also have that which is a transit, and is that program which we get to discuss at length, in-depthly. We set a topic and we discuss it in-depthly. It starts somewhat around 8:30 and it takes us to 9 o'clock a.m. And just after that, after commercial break or thereabout, we come back and then we go on with the interactive segment, which it's the very segment with which you get to take lead on this very program. Iji Adamu is my name, your regular anchor, but you can call me Kobe and I'll be just fine. Today happens to be Thursday, the 17th day in the month of October, the year 2024. As usual, this program is actually yours, and we will stop at nothing to make sure that you have the best of it and you enjoy these wonderful conversations on this program. So I don't do this alone, and so I have in the studio Professor Proveno Hedge Ba Mayi, say Allah by permission anyway. He's coming your way with nothing less than a big good morning, dear listener. Enjoy it.
Well, let's start with you, Colby. A big good morning.
A big good morning to you,
Suda Makan.
Suda, a big
Suda. Viewers and listeners, Suda Makan. Have you eaten this morning or afternoon or evening, wherever you are? We are glad that you are part of this broadcast. It's a wonderful day. The 17th day of October, 2024. We are happy and glad to be counted among the living. It's a privilege. Every day gives us an opportunity to do what is right, to impact lives positively, to improve on the things we're doing, to ensure that we don't repeat mistakes that we've made. So it's a beautiful day, wonderful day, and a lot of things are happening around the world. Please tell your neighbors, your friends, and colleagues that we are on air. Let them be part of this fantastic Unity train on 93.3 FM. And this Unity train is taking us to a fantastic destination. You can join us on Facebook, YouTube. Please, let's enter the conversation together this beautiful morning. And if you're in other parts of the world, afternoon and evening. But let me quickly remind you of your goals, your objectives, your dreams, your visions for 2024. How far, so far, have you gone about that book you're writing, that building project, that business investment, that trade venture? What about that musical album? What about the overseas trip? What about that thing you said that you must do this year, 2024? That great ambition, that aspiration. Remember, your goals and objectives must be smart. That means specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And you know you are going to meet resistance on the way. But your persistence will break every resistance to your goals and objectives and dreams. You meet failure on the way, but failure is the other side of the coin. That is called success. Failure is not fatal. Success is not final. It is the courage to continue that counts. Yes, the times are tough, but tough times don't last. It is tough people that do. There are difficulties all across the country and beyond, but in the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. So therefore I encourage you, don't throw in the towel. Winners don't quit, quitters don't win. Keep persevering, keep perspiring to acquire what you require in life. If you don't acquire, don't retire. Just keep refiring. Refire again and again. If you did it once, it did not work, try the second time. Try the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time, the sixth time, the seventh time. Continue to the 10th, 20th time. Keep on doing it. A woman was looking for a visa. They denied her 20 times, 30 times, 38 times. The next time she came, they said, "We are tired of you, madam. Go and get the visa that will allow you to travel." So, keep perspiring to acquire what you require in life. Don't give up. Don't take no for an answer. Keep on soldiering on. Keep on advancing. Don't say, "I cannot do it." You can do it. There is great potential in you for greatness. You just need to maximize those God-given potentials in you for greatness. And I tell you that you can be great in spite of the economy of Nigeria, in spite of the challenges in the country and around the world. You can be great if you maximize your own potentials. So go out there today, make a difference in your own life, in somebody's life. And always remember to be the change that you want to see in the world.
That's lovely, and thank you so much, Professor, for giving us such wonderful shock absorber even today. Again, as always, thank you so much. Dear listener, it's time for you to be deliberate in your effort to make sure that you succeed in this life, because the fundamentals are there. God has finished all that he has to do just for you to succeed in this life. And so just look here and there and never give up in yourself. And of course in the country Nigeria, with time you will not regret you've never given up. Thank you so much. This is Unity Trend, by the way, on your radio. And so another segment of this very program is coming your way, which of course the main business of the segment that is review. And so let's just begin as usual. This one has it to say that International Day for the Eradication of Poverty 2024, history, significance, and theme. And if you would look at the Sustainable Development Goal, you would have it even point number 1. Out of the 17 points, you have these that end poverty in all its forms, everywhere, eradicate extreme poverty, currently measured as people living on less than $1.25 a day. Hunger is part of what sends signals of poverty of a nation. And so the issue of ending poverty has been there for a very long time, and still efforts are still being put in place just to make sure that poverty is a thing of the past. But will there ever be such a time? Professor, comes your way.
Yeah, today is the International Day for the Eradication of Poverty. And the theme is ending social and institutional maltreatment, acting together for just, peaceful, and inclusive societies. If you talk about poverty, I was just looking at the statistics of the poorest countries in the world. Unfortunately, Nigeria happens to fall among them. And when they were looking at the percentage of poverty, poor people in a country by the population of the country, South Sudan ranked first, followed by Niger Republic and Nigeria as number 3. But when you go by absolute numbers, that is the number of people that are poor irrespective of the population of the country, Nigeria will be standing very tall, unfortunately, overtaking India, that used to have the highest number of poor people in the world. Now Nigeria has overtaken India with having the highest number of poor people. 133 million Nigerians are said to be poor. When Buhari was in power, by 2018, 85 million Nigerians were considered poor. 85 million poor citizens. And the number kept increasing during the Buhari administration. until he handed over to His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he also increased the number of poor Nigerians with anti-people policies. And it is unfortunate that we've not had good leadership. When Goodluck Jonathan was in power also, there were poor Nigerians, not as many as we had under the Buhari administration, but at least 40 million Nigerians or thereabout were said to be suffering from poverty, extreme poverty. When Buhari came, it looks as if he was on a mission to make more Nigerians poor, because Nigerians became, this is something that we'll remember Muhammadu Buhari's administration for, that he increased the number of Nigerians in abject poverty, and he made no apology about it. By the time he was leaving, Nigerians were extremely poor for 8 years. He did not do anything enough to arrest poverty in the country. And the current administration has come in, and from their body language, I think they are telling us that Buhari was just joking. We're going to impoverish even more Nigerians. And unfortunately, you see, the kind of anti-people policies that we're having in place by this current administration will keep plunging more and more and more and more Nigerians into poverty. Because the purchasing power of even the Nigerian worker who is working, who is earning a good salary, is reducing by the day. And so you see that many more Nigerians who are in the middle income group, low income group, are being pushed into extreme poverty, unfortunately. And if you look at it, Kulbi, you cannot see a clear policy of the present government to eradicate poverty. Apart from lip service, apart from making noise, apart from jamborees, apart from telling the people, well, let's maybe go to the farm, which they're not even saying it enough. There is just lip service. You cannot see concrete policies and action in place to eradicate poverty in the country. Because if you want to eradicate poverty, will you be increasing the price of fuel every day? Will you be hiking the price of petrol? When you know that Nigeria is an oil-based economy? And will you be giving a paltry sum of 70,000 naira as minimum wage? This is the lowest in terms of purchasing power since 1960 that Nigeria has ever had. 70,000 naira as minimum wage, and they're not even ready to pay it. How many states are ready to pay? Even the federal government, are they really ready to pay? 70,000 naira. If you look at the purchasing power, that 70,000 naira is not up to what a copper was earning in 1973 when NYC started. 60 naira was the alawi of a copper, 60 naira. That 60 naira, the copper will feed himself, will rent a house or room to stay, and will have extra change to send back to his or her siblings. 60 naira. Now we have 70,000 naira. It cannot buy one bag of rice. I mean, it is an insult on Nigerians to give a minimum wage of 70,000. It shows that the federal government is extremely insensitive to Nigerians. It is like spitting on the face of Nigerians and saying you don't even matter. Now, with this kind of thing, you cannot eradicate poverty in the land when you are not empowering the people, when there is no welfare package for the people, when there is no security for the citizens. How will you eradicate poverty when you don't have concrete, clear policies with action that will arrest poverty? Now look at India. India, that we were competing with having the highest number of poor people, they put in policies and action in place, and they have left us behind. And we and India used to have the highest number of people involved in open defecation. They put in policies in place. They have also left us because they have leaders that are visionary. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, we don't have visionary leaders. In a country with extremely poor people like Nigeria, our president has presidential jets. I mean, what kind of, do you take this leader serious? What are you doing with a presidential jet when your citizens are living in abject poverty, when the majority of the citizens are poor? You have a presidential jet. What do you need it for? In an extremely poor country like Nigeria, with people living below the poverty line, our senators drive with convoys. The president, vice president, ministers, convoys, governors, convoys. I mean, when you look at it, you just see that we have a bunch of leaders who are just comedians. They cannot, I repeat it emphatically, there is no way we can fight poverty with the kind of mentality of our political leaders, our elites, who are living fat, living in luxury, enjoying themselves at the expense of the citizens. If you're serious about fighting poverty, like one of the presidents of the country did, sold all the presidential jets, he wasn't using any, stopped having convoys, he was using only 1-2 cars as president of the country, slashed the salary of the president, slashed the salaries of members of the National Assembly, and the ministers, cut down the number of ministers. Why do we need 48 ministers, for God's sake? Can't we do with 10 ministers in this country? Can't we do with just 15 ministers? Go and ask United States of America how many they have. And we are just interested in waste in this country. And we're not really interested in seeing Nigerians come out of poverty. Why? Yes. Because our politicians have weaponized poverty. Poverty is a weapon that they use. By the time every Nigerian is doing very well, they're not going to have hoodlums to use. They're not going to have hooligans that they'll be using to achieve their own aim. So they don't want to end poverty. Tell me one concrete thing that the government is doing now to end poverty in this country.
I think, Professor, maybe we would look at it at this angle that we've seen effort actually where, okay, for instance, just now we also get to know that Jigawa tankers explosions death toll rises to 105, and there's this headline actually I need to bring up here. Federal government moves to VAT's looming ASU strike. Well, in the first place, there shouldn't have been the attempt to have a strike. But then we've seen federal government attempting to want to have a committee and meetings here and there, so to avert some of these things that tend to undermine whatever it is that this country has. For instance, this is an effort. These two will come up with, they will come up with resolutions and how to address this very issue. So is this not effort enough to address some of these issues?
I just laugh in Latin. We've been having resolutions after resolutions, committees after committees since independence. And committees are not in short supply in this country, but what about the implementation? Why do you set up committees when you're not ready to implement the suggestions, the resolutions of those committees? Let's take the looming ASU strike, for example. In 2017, the federal government set up a committee. That committee was chaired by Wale Babalakin. And that committee made its recommendations. 2017. Did they implement anything? In 2020, the same federal government set up another committee on the same issue, not a different issue, the same issue. They set up another committee that was chaired by MISALI Jibril. MISALI Jibril chaired that committee and made recommendations. Did the federal government do anything? Nothing. In 2022, Professor Nimi Briggs chaired another committee on the same issue, viewers and listeners. The same issue could be. Did the federal government implement? In fact, Professor Nimi Briggs of blessed memory, the man even died without seeing his recommendations implemented. Now, the same federal government is setting up another committee now to be chaired by Dr. Yahya Ahmed. On the same issue, not another different issue, the same issue. One committee, two committees, three committees, this is the fourth committee on the same thing. I mean, Haba, can you take such a government serious? That when a strike is looming in now, quickly go and set up a kangaroo committee and say, we'll address your issues, come and negotiate. And do you know that they're giving that committee 3 months? 3 whole months to do what can be done within 24 hours. By one pronouncement of the president, that issue will be settled in less than 24 hours. The same president that the same day he was being sworn into office, by his pronouncement, one pronouncement before even entering office, subsidy is gone, has plunged the country in crisis, in chaos, in pandemonium, in anarchy, has increased poverty in the country. The same president today can make a pronouncement and there will not be need for any ASU strike, any SANO strike, any NASU strike, any NAT strike. So setting up committee is not the problem. By the time that committee finish now, they will not implement, they will set up the 5th committee. When they finish, they will set up the 6th, the 7th. All these committees is just a waste of time. They are just trying to buy time. The willingness to do what is right is not there. Where there is a will, there is a way. It is not setting up committee. You don't even need a committee for this issue. Go and implement what the 3 previous committees have agreed, and you are the ones that set up those committees. Let's take the Nini Briggs committee, for example. You set up the committee, you chose the people to be in the committee. They negotiated and brought, you know, what was negotiated to you, you trade it and decided to do what you felt like doing. So the government is not sincere. This is a government full of hypocrisy. They will just tell you, all right, we're going to do something. And not only this government, the Muhammadu Buhari government, the previous government before, they have just been hypocritical about the educational sector in this country. They don't really have it in their hearts to improve the educational sector. I give you one instance. If the government is serious that they want the educational sector to be the best in the world, all public officers from the president to the lowest members in state houses of assembly, their children should not go abroad to school. Why are the president's children abroad, or the vice president, or the ministers, the senators? They should not be sending their children abroad to school. In fact, there should be a bill that should stop all of them from sending their children outside this country to study. Somebody attempted to present such a bill. That bill did not last 24 hours. They threw it from the National Assembly. Why? Because the politicians are not interested in revitalizing education. They are not interested in funding education. They are not interested in making Nigerian universities to be at par with Harvard, at par with Oxford, at par with Cambridge, to be at par with the best universities around the world. They are not interested in doing it. If they were interested in doing it, they would have done this very, very easily. But they are not interested. And that is why setting up all these committees is just buying time, deceiving Nigerians, and, make people to believe that you want to do something, whereas in your heart, you know that you don't intend to do anything. You don't need committee to do the right thing. Did the president set up a committee before he said subsidy is gone? Which committee did he set up? Who was the chairman of that committee before he made the pronouncement, subsidy is gone? Who chaired that committee? He just came up and made the pronouncement. Why can't you come today and say, from today henceforth, we're revitalizing our universities, we're going to be funding the universities, we're releasing $1 trillion to the universities, we're going to be paying lecturers and non-teaching staff in the universities also. Today, make that pronouncement, and then there will not be any strike. But they are not interested, unfortunately.
Their will has not proven enough in the submission of Professor this morning.
We are not even seeing the will of the government. Because look at it. If the government was willing to act, ASU gave a 21 days ultimatum. It expired. The government did not do anything. ASU was gracious and gave another 14 days. It expired. They didn't do anything. ASU was gracious again and waited for another 7 days, another 1 week, hoping that the government would do something. They did not do anything. They are not interested. They don't want to. They don't want to really do the right thing. Now, let's turn the tables. The ministers and the politicians and the senators, can they reverse the salary they're receiving and give it to lecturers and non-teaching staff in universities and other people, and they collect the salaries of lecturers? Can they do that?
Okay, Prof.
Can they do that?
All right, Prof. Thank you very much.
It shows you that these people are not interested in solving the problems of the country, not just education, health sector and other sectors.
All right, thank you very much, dear listener. It's time for a break. Just stay tuned. We'll be right back after you, please.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
Are you bored and need some company? Get a TV experience like no other on Unity TV. We are turning up the hits with captivating TV shows, electrifying political programs, music, movies, and lots more that will leave you craving. I'm sure you want to know more. Tune in to Unity TV today and let the excitement take over.
Please pay attention. It starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run. So you look away the other way. It concerns you. It kill love, it kill dreams. It land people for jail. War against drug abuse.
Get ready to be entertained and inspired by the incredible stories around the globe. Don't miss out on the excitement. Hello at Work is an ultimate TV program that brings to you the interesting stories and daily happenings worldwide. Join us Mondays and Thursdays, 10 a.m. as we dive into the daily happenings and stories. Tune in and stay. Say hello to the world as you bring in your ideas, as it is a perfect blend of entertainment and information. Get ready to stay up to date while being entertained.
I was the head boy in my primary school, senior prefect and best graduating student in my secondary school, but drug abuse almost ruined my life.
I was on an average of 2 grams of cocaine per day.
I was taking 8 ampoules of pentazosine daily.
European shisha, cocaine.
I became a user, a dealer and a gangster.
I saw other users drowning. I knew I didn't want to be like them, but I was already trapped.
My family disowned me.
My employment was terminated.
I sold my car, sold my house. I'll go out well-dressed and return shoeless, shirtless in exchange for drugs.
I was seeing things that were not real, and I once stabbed myself because I felt something crawling under my skin.
I contacted NDLEA and started therapy.
I spent 3 months in therapy.
I spent 8 months.
It's easy to relapse, but your mind has to be stronger than the cravings.
Drugs does not love you. You are not the one using drugs. Drugs are the one using you. Say no to drug abuse.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Unity. Unity TV.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion?
All right, thank you. I'm so glad. Give God praise for making it possible for us to see this wonderful day. It's Thursday, the 17th day in the month of October, the year 2024. Well, in case you're just tuning on, this is Unity Train on Unity 93.3 FM, and we are reaching you live from the hills of ZINARIYA here in just North Plateau State, Nigeria. Iji Adamu is my name, but you can call me Kubi and I'll be just fine. This is the second segment of Unity Train, and it's a place with which we get to discuss a lens, have a topic for you. The good news this morning is that we are expecting a guest in the studio. Before he comes in, we would love to give you the platform, the opportunity to begin to also call. And let's talk about the International Day for the Eradication of Poverty 2024. Eradication of poverty. Poverty is one thing that has dealt with every, or maybe permit me to say most Nigerians. Some people in Nigeria might never have tested poverty, but of course a larger number of Nigerians, to my own opinion, have tested poverty, and it would be good if we give this time before our guests come in. Let's get to talk about how to eradicate poverty. So the studio line is booting already, just for you to call, and let's see what you have to contribute. Who do you want to call so he or she does what, so that we eradicate poverty in Nigeria? 070323533315 is the studio line, and you can call already. Tell me your name and locations, and straight up in 1 minute or thereabout, let's have your own submissions as what is expected of you or any individual in the country to end or to eradicate poverty. At this moment also, I would love to commiserate with the people of Jigawa over the loss of lives, a tanker explosion which led to the death of not less than 105 people. We commiserate with the people, Jigawa, and of course all Nigerians. We pray that such never recurs. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you for calling. Your name, please.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. It's good to have you.
Yes, I am Bashir Dankoli calling from Jos.
Bashir, one time, Dankoli, it's good to have you.
I would like to contribute about the issues that you are talking about, poverty eradication.
Yes. So what do
you know?
In
Islam, we have way of eradicating poverty.
All right.
In Islam.
Okay.
That is the richest should help the richest should help the poor. And the poor, if you are not extremely poor, you can still help someone that is not rich in the riches.
Yes.
So this is the way we have to help one another. And Islam encourages such things that we should help.
All right.
If we are doing this thing, all these things will subsidize in our society.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Dankoli calling this morning and saying we have to tilt towards the the angle of religion. It encourages that you help those whom you are out there, those who are down. Okay, if you have it, just support the other. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much. Your name, please.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, Sadiq Kumar, it's good to have you. Please go on.
Yeah, thank you very well.
All right.
When we are talking about eradication, because the government has having control of our economy. When you look at the previous administration, state government of President Muhammad Buhari, you see that our economy is changing. That's where people are start feeling hard in life. That's where poverty starts to show up. And according to this administration, again, the things have now been frustrated. So what is the cause of those things? That's what we have to take in the table. As a just have said, one point in the president have just pronounced the removal of fuel subsidy without any subsidizing another policy that we have to keep. So you see, if the government really wanted to help the eradicate the poverty, I think the government will provide a noble environment for business in the state. For example, now the farmers also supposed to have a lot of farming materials and security in some countries. We see Nigeria is taking a lot of things that we look at poverty eradication. The government has to do a lot, and they have to answer the government. Not from the federal government coming to the state government, coming to the local government. But the much is on the federal government. We are talking about education now. Education, we're talking about going to strike. What are the government to subsidize education from primary coming to the higher institution? So you see, the government has to do a lot. We have to go masses. But if not, in this federal administration, they are not subsidizing anything. Anything, they are not seeing that the government are benefiting from this government.
All right.
It's very, very unfortunate. Everything the people is government on himself. So you see, that's what poverty cannot be eradicated by the government.
All right. Thank you very much, Sadiq Kumar. This morning, I also love his submissions. It's not just the sharing food around that would help bring about eradicating poverty in the country, but providing enabling, favorable, economic space would go a long way to eradicate poverty. So you may want to be a part of it. Why not? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you so much for calling.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Your name?
Yes, Benedict is calling from Tanzania.
Okay, Mr. Benedict, let's have you. Please go on.
Yes, talking about poverty eradication, it's very, very simple and clear.
Okay.
And it's quite unfortunate that it is even the citizens, people who doesn't have the technical know-how when it has to do with economy and what have you. I think that's like a proper solution to all these issues that people have been consulted. With a lot of money to be able to give these ideas. We have been appointed in this key position to be able to bring in these particular ideas that the ordinary men are actually giving to the government at this particular point in time.
All right.
So if you look at it, it's very, very simple.
Okay.
If you want to eradicate poverty in Nigeria, first of all, what is the cause of poverty? It's corruption.
Okay.
Somebody sees billions and billions of naira he cannot spend in his entire life and just hide it somewhere. That is the people, that is the man, is Nigeria, is giving property to the people. If Nigeria is having over 200 million people, and just about 1,000 people are just considering resources and then investing this money and hiding it. They're applying all kind of private debt and the rest of them. This is just the beginning, that's the cause of poverty. Because of poverty. So you can never talk about eradicating poverty when you have people that are actually very, very good politicians. And unfortunately, they have been found in the hands of ourselves. So they control resources and they make sure that the people are kept in the picture of poverty. So let us eradicate first of all. The institution should work first of all to be able to persecute and then punish people who have been stealing our money in this country. And the second thing to do again is to stop insecurity. This is the key point of the reason why Nigerians are poor.
Okay.
Yes, if you keep insecurity in this country, an ordinary man who cannot be able to have a white collar job, even a graduate that doesn't have a white collar job, can easily go and rent the land, even if he doesn't have the land. You can go and rent the land and you start farming. When you farm, after like 3, 4, 5 months, you go and harvest, and they come to say to the Nigerian public, Nigeria has a very large market. People are going to use their money to buy these things, and then the best person that has been poor, even if you get ready to have money, to be able to solve this problem. Insecurity and corruption is what is killing this country. Another thing that is killing this country,
corruption and security.
People that are incompetent. People that are incompetent, they think that the only thing they have to do in a government house, either in a presidential house or government house, is to of power is going to go and number one, and again insecurity, and again putting people that are incompetent into our offices.
Okay.
These 3 things, if we can get this right, we are going to eradicate poverty completely in this country.
Okay. All right, thank you so much, Mr. Benedict, for giving us such a wonderful angle as to what is the reason for poverty in Nigeria. Corruption, you say, insecurity, and then voting people that are incompetent into various offices. All right, let's have this. Hello, good morning. All right, that is not going on down well, but then we'll be right back. Stay tuned, dear listener. Just in a moment, we'll be right back.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
Are you bored and need some company? Get a TV experience like no other on Unity TV. We are turning up the hits with captivating TV shows, electrifying political programs, music, movies, and lots more that will leave you craving. I'm sure you want to know more. Tune into Unity TV today and let the excitement take over.
Mr. Politician.
Dear listener, it's good to say welcome back, and I'm so glad to say welcome back. The reason is because God has made it possible for yourself and myself to be alive. He alone did that. It wasn't my efforts that made it possible for me to be alive today. It was God himself. And so somebody say, give praise to God out there. Okay, today, don't forget, in case you're just tuning in, this is Unity Train on Unity 93.3 FM, just Plateau State, Nigeria. And of course, is the segment which we would have to discuss a topic. And let me just say this very quickly, because we have a guest in the studio, and I'm very, very happy to have him in here. Okay, if men were by their massive positive impacts in the society to be described as masquerade, I will say today we have not only a national but a global masquerade. One of the few persons that ensured massive, intensive and extensive intergenerational human development nationwide, the Kurnajam of Gemai Nations, a former director, Industrial Training Fund, ITF, Sir Joseph Antung Ari, KSM, is in the studio. And I'll let him say a big good morning to our listener and our viewer. Sir, good morning.
Well, thank you very much, BT, for having me and for being on this station. It's a rare privilege and a great opportunity indeed, and I'm grateful. Good morning, viewers.
All right, thank you so much. It's a familiar voice. Okay, so Ari's working career spans a period of not less than 2 decades, covering different shades of disciplines and human endeavor. Worthy of mention, Sir Joseph Ari was also the Director of Praise and Public Affairs to 2 governors of Plateau State before his appointment as the sole administrator and later general manager of the Plateau Publishing Corporation, PPC, which of course some of my articles are there. So thereafter he was reassigned to the Plateau Radio Television Corporation, just PRTVC, as general manager. Wow. Today, Sir Ari remains the first Plateau citizens to have headed the 2 state media outfits at different times. Very, very lovely, and even more than this, but this is not what we'll be discussing. I'm so quick to want to have you bless our listener, even because of your range, wealth of experience and knowledge. I would just tilt towards the question that we have, and so that we can begin the conversations without waste of time, if you permit me.
Go ahead, please.
All right, thank you very much. The Punch newspaper reported that Nigerian indigenous languages risk extinction as preservation models face threats. Also, a report by the Endangered Language Project indicated that 172 Nigerian languages were going extinct, along with the populations that speaks the languages. The preservation of some Nigerian native languages is increasingly threatened by the emphasis placed on English language usage and how this trend could impact Nigeria's cultural identities. Language is one of our nation's basic identities. Sir, if you don't mind, tell us about the efforts that the Gamai nation put in place to ensure language identity preservations with reference to the Gamai Literacy and Bible Project, sir.
Thank you again, BT, for having me, and good morning, listener. Let me begin this conversation, BT, by the quote from the French Agro-Caribbean philosopher, psychiatrist, and political philosopher Frantz Fanon, when he said, "Every generation must, out of relative obscurity, discover its mission, fulfill it or else betray it." And on the trajectory of fulfilling, the mission bequeathed to us by our forebears in Gamai land, who toiled, day and night to get us to where we are presently. A lot has happened, to rejuvenate, reignite, and reinvent, the language in such a way and manner that it would not go extinct, as you rightly, quoted the reports from the Punch newspaper. People like the late Rose Megari, the late Baba Stephen Tiemsan, the late Colonel Joseph Madugu, retired, and the late Pastor Jimo, who, even though was not a Gamai, worked together with our compatriots and some of our illustrious sons and daughters, to get us to where we are. The trajectory or the project itself has a checkered history, dating back to the early 1990s.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yes. At that time, a group of concerned Gamai sons and daughters, visited the Nigeria Bible Translation Trust to register the interests of the Gamai ethnic group, in the activities of the trust, what the NBTT was doing.
Yes.
And this, was followed by the establishment of the project, specifically in 1994. And like you rightly pointed out, unless efforts like these are done, languages would go extinct. What with civilization, what with the encroachment, in the various languages by other, languages, and the English language generally. And even the aspect of globalization, that intermarriages occur, and the offsprings of these marriages may not be in tune with their mother tongue. And so there are so many things, that come to play, to get languages extinct. So the Gamai have been at the forefront of ensuring that we revive, there is this revival of the language, so that the efforts, set up by our forebears, is not in vain.
All right, thank you. Very quickly, sir, we would love to know how far so far have you recorded any laudable achievements in these efforts to, of course, make sure that this language, the Gamai people, still have this to identify with?
Oh, yes. The project was reenacted, like I said, and specifically in 2014, a few efforts were made leading to the publication of some of the books. For example, the Gospel of Luke, known as the Langship Nanpe Lucas. Langship, that is the Gospel, according to Luke. The Acts of the Apostles, known also as Shid Mufan. We also revised the Gamai Catechism, that is Catechism Nan Ndiye Gamai. Yes, and then the Gamai literacy parts of the body, parts of the body, and the Gamai Jesus films. So a lot has been done, but regarding this particular program or project, on the 9th of May this year, specifically, the Board of Trustees, that overlooks, the project, the Gamai Bible as well as the literacy project, inaugurated a committee headed by my humble self, to set in motion the process of getting this before the public glare and the public domain, to launch it and to dedicate it and have, a public presentation of the works, so that we'll be able to now showcase it to the outside world. Specifically, the New Testament in Gamai language is now ready. But we wish to dedicate it in such a way and manner that proceeds from it would be used also to get the complete Bible.
All right.
That is one aspect of the project. The other aspect of the project has to do with the literacy. The literacy, which you earlier on had alluded to, the way languages are getting extinct these days.
Yes.
So we are lucky as a people to have the Gamai language as one of the 6 languages on the plateau, that have been approved, for under the literacy project of the NBTT, the CONAGDA, as well as the SEAL. And so that means also that when put in proper perspective, the Gamai language would be taught in primary, secondary schools, and would also be used in the SSCE. So our people, our people would now begin to write Gamai also the way they write Hausa as a subject, Yoruba as a subject, Igbo as a subject. So it's a great plus for the Gamai people. And this would ensure the revival, like I said, of the language, and our people would be in tune with it. We've had translators, a lot of them who have come, to work with our people. And so we have set the committee, the Central Planning Committee, worked round the clock and hit the ground running. And as we speak, the committee also constituted 6 subcommittees to ensure the success of this project or this dedication. Specifically, we have the Security Medical Subcommittee, headed by Commissioner of Police Sebastian Morkwap, with Dr. Benedict Bamshal Meriga as the deputy. We have also the Contact and Mobilization Subcommittee, headed by Ms. Barrister Timothy Parlong, with Honorable Kemishe as the deputy. We have the Publicity Protocol Subcommittee, headed by Honorable John Bull Shekarau, with Honorable Abraham Iljab as the deputy. We have the Venue Entertainment Committee, headed by Dr. Livinus Miapkwap as chair and Anna Bante as deputy. We have the Finance Subcommittee, headed by Ms. Richard Nkwabadidi as chair. And of course, we have the Liturgy Subcommittee, headed by Very Reverend Father Michael Kelong, with all the priests of Gamai stock, as members of that subcommittee. So all is set. And we have come to the conclusion that the 26th of October, which is a Saturday, in a few days' time, in 10 days' time, or 9 days' time to be precise, the next Saturday would be the date, for the formal presentation of the work. This is the card, as you can see. A very beautiful card.
Of course it is.
Yes,
it is.
Which is an invite, from the custodian of the Gamai heritage and culture itself, that is His Royal Highness the Longamai of Gamai Nation, Mr. Martin Mududre Shaldas III. So this card or this program is under his auspices, working hand in hand with the Board of Trustees of this project.
All right, that is lovely, sir. It's quite interesting to know that you already have an event that is coming, and it gets towards making sure that people don't, our younger generations don't let this mother tongue, these languages to slip out of our tongues, and this time not out of our hands.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Well, it's time for a short break. Dear listener, stay tuned. After this very commercial break, we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
Are you bored and need some company? Get a TV experience like no other on Unity TV. We are turning up the hits with captivating TV shows, electrifying political programs, music, movies, and lots more that will leave you craving. I'm sure you want to know more. Tune in to Unity TV today and let the excitement take over.
Please pay attention. It starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run. So you look away the other way.
It concerns you. It a kill law, it a kill dreams. It a land people for jail. War against drug abuse.
Get ready to be entertained and inspired by the incredible stories around the globe. Don't miss out on the excitement. Hello at Work is an ultimate TV program that brings to you the interesting stories and daily happenings worldwide. Join us Mondays and Thursdays 10 a.m. as we dive into the daily happenings and stories. Tune in and stay. Say hello to the world as you bring in your ideas, as it is a perfect blend of entertainment and information. Get ready to stay up to date while being entertained.
I was the head boy in my primary school, senior prefect and best graduating student in my secondary school, but drug abuse almost ruined my life.
I was on an average of 2 grams of cocaine per day.
I was taking 8 ampoules of pentazosine daily.
European shisha, cocaine.
I became a user, a dealer, and a gangster.
I saw other users drowning. I knew I didn't want to be like them, but I was already trapped.
My family disowned me.
My employment was terminated.
I sold my car, sold my house. I'll go out well-dressed and return shoeless, shirtless in exchange for drugs.
I was seeing things that were not real, and I once stabbed myself because I felt something crawling under my skin.
I contacted NDLEA and started therapy.
I spent 3 months in therapy.
I spent 8 months.
It's easy to relapse, but your mind has to be stronger than the cravings.
Drugs does not love you. You are not the one using drugs. Drugs are the one using you. Say no to drug abuse.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Unity. Unity TV.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead.
Don't forget we are streaming live on Facebook at Unity Radio FM/TV Jos, on YouTube, and as well as WhatsApp channel. And so, well, in case you're just tuning on again, this is Unity Trend on Unity 93.3 FM, and it's the last segment of Unity Train on your radio this morning, Thursday, the 17th day in the month of October, the year 2024. I remain G, the Mukubi, if you like, and I'll be just fine. In the studio, it has been Sir Joseph Ari. He's a father. He's someone who has made it big time in terms of adding value to the society, and he is still doing that. He's in the studio. We've been talking about how to sustain our various languages with a reference to the Gamai ethnic nationality as a nation. So that's what to say. Before I begin to pick your calls, I would love to apologize that you gave me maybe 5 of your minutes. Let's have my guest to get to talk some more about some things he would not want to leave the studio without mentioning. So I'll just leave it free to him. That which he would love to say to our dear listener and viewer. Just give him the time now. So, sir.
Thank you very much once again, BT.
Yes, sir.
I think mine should be to make a clarion call to our people, particularly our ethnic groups on the plateau, you know, that there is a wake-up call right now for all ethnic groups to harness their resources together and pull them to a point where we begin again to reevaluate, you know, the need to revive our cultural heritage and our languages. This is not only to the Gamai, it affects all the ethnic groups on the plateau. You know, the issue of enculturation, the issue of many things have set in, you know, to affect and dilute, you know, the rich ethnic groups we have on the plateau, you know, those values. And so there is need for our groups again to get together, work with the necessary bodies and the agencies like the NBTT, the CONAGDA, the SIL, like I mentioned earlier, so that they would be well guided on the need to work towards reviving, you know, their cultural heritage with particular reference to the languages so that they do not necessarily get extinct.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, that's lovely. I know my listener and viewer would love to send his or her submissions, maybe a question. So I would just begin straight ahead, so that we will read as many as possible. This one is saying, may Allah ease your affairs and best of the day. Good morning, sir. Is a text message here. In case you want to send yours, you send it to 0808-478-9999. And for a studio line, a live call, you can do that via 070-3235-3315. If you call, just tell me your name and location. You go straight up in 1 minute or thereabout. Let's have your submission, but stay away from comments that are capable of undermining the integrity of an individual or group of individuals, and support our efforts to bring about sustainable, peaceful coexistence in Plateau State, Nigeria, and the world over. Thank you. Again, a text message here. This one says, good morning, Kobe, Prof. B. We are enjoying this program with the motivations that Prof always motivating us with. May Almighty Allah bless you all. We are proud of you all. Thank you. And you from Aliyu Maza. Thank you, Aliyu Maza. A text message there. Another one here says, good morning, Prof. Cool B, and how are we today? Suffering and smiling. I remember in the early 80s, Britons with whom I was traveling to Abakaliki saw a lot of cashew trees. He said this can earn you a lot of revenue, but your policy makes not serious. Haba, Prof, you are an okay truck. Lowell from Sabon Akingi, okay. And this one says, good morning, Kulbi, and our amiable, consistent, and passionate analyst, Professor Bamayi. Kudos always to the Prof for his wonderful and objective analyses. Honestly, if corruption that has eaten deep into the fabric of Nigeria is eradicated, then poverty would also be eradicated. Our politicians should also have the political will to prioritize education, empower the girl child and the women, to provide good roads and other necessary infrastructures. It will reduce drastically the poverty in the land. Peace is priceless. Let's live in peace. God bless Unity FM, Plateau State, and Nigeria. And
amen.
came from Christy Izan from Kubara. Thank you so much, Christy Izan. Is a prayer there. Good morning, Kubi and the Prof. The rate of poverty in Nigeria is high, and the government is doing nothing to alleviate it. Okay, maybe it's doing just, but not enough. I would prefer that for a text on air. They don't care about, they are not affected. Nigerians are very patient people. Our leaders are not, they are not as expected patriotic. That's what I would prefer you put there. Poverty, insecurity, hardship, hunger, and starvation is what our leaders have thrown this country into. Only God will save this country from their hands. Amy Lungs from Agenge. Thank you, Amy Lungs. I understand how it feels when you are hit with so many economic hardship. Now, good morning, Unity FM, could be Prof B, Barrister Zaruma. We are ever you are, may the good God guide and protect you all. Nigeria government is for the benefit of the ladies, not for the common man. I don't think I got that well. Poverty is a nice man. Is that what you say? Shame. All right. I don't think I got that well. Well, another text message here says, morning, gentlemen. Looking at the policies being introduced by the present administrations, if I'm asked in an examinations that can poverty be eradicated in Nigeria, my answer would be yes, it is possible, but it is not probable. Okay, I don't think I got that. Ibra Eto from Bricos. Thank you, Ibra Eto from Bricos. And Bulus Esther Homan in Franket, I say, good morning, Kobe, the professor in the studio and the guest. Keep up the great work out there. May God help us in this country. We pray for a better Nigeria over our dreams. So we have a caller here. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Kobe.
Thank you so much for calling. Your name, please.
And then Prof in the studio and Oga Ari.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Oga answers. Thank you.
Okay, I'm Musa Ike calling you from Angola.
Thank you so much, Musa Ike. You have a minute, please.
You see, Uncle,
yes.
We should do all humanly possible to empower our national orientation agency.
Okay.
You see what this tanker explosion. People may go into it without knowing the implication. And that is why you see every day we continue advocating for continuity. I could remember when our refineries were working and our depots were working. You see, from Kaduna to pump to your depot here. From Kaduna to pump to Kano depot. Who is going to the Chikawa? Did he need to go to prison to Lagos for all this kind of things? When our rail were working, go to our regions, you find all these major marketers, they have their depots there, train bring their fuel and they put it there. You see, the systems are not working. The ones we have on hand, no continuity we have, but them, they have the robbing. These are what we are talking about. I could remember when I was driving this tanker, I was in an element refinery at Port Harcourt. You just load from there to Onitsha, and you don't need to go all this far. The roads are not being spoiled the way it is. You continue saying road safety, road safety. You saw people on the road and be collecting money. You are road safety, but you are not road maintenance. What are we talking about? The institution should be working.
All right.
You see, this issue of this is luxury that is so much attached to this leadership. We should find a way of disseminating this thing. Look at our educational system. Every day you put the chairman, you say let's come, and after talk you will not implement. And you continue shooting goals. When they are tired, they start again. Then you come and start constituting another committee. You think that we will continue?
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I can imagine, maybe not understand, of course. Part of our text message here reads, it says, Uncle B, you should be keeping a bottle of water near by Prof so that he could his thoughts in the course of his analysis. Suleiman Science, Yusuf Street. Oh, thank you. I will look towards that. Hello, good morning. Hello? Okay, we lost that. In case you want to be part of it, why not? 07032353315. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Kulbi. Good morning, Professor.
Thank you so much for calling.
My name is Henry, calling from Rukuba Road.
Oh, Chief Henry, sir, it's good to have you, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. My comment is on issue of this poverty. Nigeria having to take the lead of the poverty country in the world.
Okay, that excites you? It's just a question,
yes,
sir.
But then the issue is, you know, the blame should go to the government particularly.
Okay.
The government agents like the Consumer Protection Agency does nothing.
Okay.
Prices of things are going up. People cannot travel because of regulation of government on fuel, electricity, etc., etc. And we cannot forget the marketers also, who inflate their price as well without government intervention. We also have the Fulani herdsmen.
Okay.
I remember the farm of the Unity FM was destroyed and eaten by the herdsmen. And it's not only that, all over the country. So many other things like that. The bandits are there, and also corruption in Nigeria.
All right.
If you look at all this area, you discover that these are the main things that make us to be very poor. The government don't care about us.
Oh,
so I thank you. I thank the professor who is always educating us. Every morning, giving us breakfast. And we always stay by the radio to hear his lectures.
Thank you.
May God also continue to lecture him, give him more knowledge, understanding, and wisdom.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Okay, and I pray that God will grant you healings. I know you have been going through health challenge, Chief Henry Aboki. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's good to have you already. Hello. Your name? Okay, sorry, if you're calling us, just try to find a place where you feel that network is a bit stable and stronger so that we can hear your submission, because that means a lot to us, please. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you so much for calling. Your name?
Thank you. I am Johnson. I'm calling from Josh.
Okay, Abak, it's good to have you. So what's your submission this morning?
I want to appreciate our place of guest there.
All right. Okay.
The Barry.
Yes.
Being in the station.
Yes.
And talking about culture. Yes. I thought you would come to talk a little about also mixed with politics.
Of course, you cannot accept that. You cannot escape that.
So without to, because every culture, every group has the same norm. Every group wants to protect its dignity.
Yes.
Its integrity.
Yes.
And I think it is pertinent here for you to speak about it.
All right.
How wish that it will be also infused into politics. Because that is what is trending now.
All right.
Because what happens, it's not because of the norm. The goodness in the group is plateau.
Yes.
I am sure what happens to the local government election is just a trigger to violence.
Okay.
It's a position where all this illegality that took place. It's not because we are seeing ourselves as brothers and sisters. It's not because we are seeing nobody is seeing things as from I think really from anywhere. Just ourselves, if not, this one is trigger to violence.
Thank you.
And I wish that, yes, as you talked about it, we should also come out to speak to government, because they have not said anything on the plateau. And just anybody that comes, just a treat for anybody wants to get into it, just come alive, and everything, you get everything. If you take everything that you want to.
All right, thank you.
I'm not going to go on the plateau. Please, you should come out.
Thank you very much.
Speak as the way speak ourselves as one.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. We truly appreciate. Okay, this platform is readily available for you. The purpose for this is for us to be all out with our submissions. The desire is that we make Plateau that beautiful Plateau with which we've been praying and hoping and doing all we ought to do just to make it be. So please, feel free and be part of it. Hello, good morning. Okay, I think, sir, it's about time we start coming back to you, but let's just see if we can pick one or more. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning, Kofi.
Thank you so much for calling.
Good morning, our Mabel, Mr. Joseph Harry.
Thank you very much, Ma. Good morning.
Yes, I just want to contribute towards sustaining our languages.
All right.
Honestly, it's very important. It's very important that we sustain our languages because our languages seem to be going into extinct. Our children no longer speak language. They only speak Hausa or English or that. So I think all of us should emulate the Gomai nation and make, and do something to sustain the language that God has given us, so that our children's children will also come to meet those languages.
All right.
May God bless all in the studio. I'm Christy Isang from Kubado. Thank you.
Of course, Christy Isang. By the voice, one should know it's you. Okay. Well, just this last one, probably. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Kulbi.
Thank you so much for calling.
My name is Peace Ambassador Osman Dixon, calling from ZINARIYA.
And of course, a peace practitioner as
well.
Thank
you, Kulbi. I want to speak regarding the explanation of tanker in Jigawa.
Yes.
I see no reason why. Sometimes if the tanker fell down, some people will come and start fishing the fuel. This is the root cause of all this explanation. Let me give you an example. People like Nema, Rossetti, whenever a tanker falls down, if you come and see them, they will clear away that truck. Why is it that some people will come and start fishing this oil? These are the root causes that cause this explanation. Please and please, people should start enlightening people to stay away whenever a tanker falls down.
All right.
That's my contribution this morning.
All right, thank you so much. With this, we've come to the end of receiving your calls. This is not because your submissions are not important. They truly are, and we wish we have all the time to continue that. But then, let's just give Sir Ari all of this time to hear. Maybe you respond to some of these calls and text messages, and then you will hardly escape from talking about you commend the Plateau citizens for conducting themselves. We've had the elections, and then you were still together as a Plateau people. So, well, from your response.
Well, I would like to thank all the callers, for their very valuable contributions. And the contributions are well noted. And as for our country, I just wish to call on all of us to be hopeful, to be focused, and to be passionate about our country. What is going on as expressed by the callers, quite unfortunate, but we look hopeful all the time. Let us not give up on our country. It is our prayer that things will be better again. And it takes the collective, will of the people. I started this program by quoting Frantz Fanon. So we are a generation that must also work to fulfill, that mission that we have set for ourselves and for our country. And so let's not give up on the country. Someday it will be better.
Amen.
And the essence of politics, like someone mentioned there, is of course to bring dividends nearer to the people, to develop the environment, lubricate it, and ensure that people have a sense of belonging. And I think that is the essence of politics. That is why it is permanent interest. People should go into politics primarily to serve. So it is, for me, I take it as, for service rather than to accumulate wealth or what have you. So it is mainly for service, to serve your people. And when you are a servant, it means that you take, to whatever level the desires, the aspirations of your people, so that there is that collective aspirations towards goal attainment. Back to I love the contribution of Christy about on the need, to revive our languages, particularly on the Plateau, with the encroachment by other languages into our languages. And that is what the Gmai ethnic group is doing at the moment, to ensure that efforts are geared towards sustaining, and reviving the language. And this has been done under the Gmai community leader in Jos, Mr. Kevin Kwablong. He has asked all the Gmai chiefs, what we call the Wurums, in Jos, to get together, run lectures, use some of our translators, some of our very great linguists to teach the younger ones as well as the older ones, on the letters of the language and on how the language, general communication in the language. It prepares them two ways. Number one, it enables them to grow up knowing and understanding the language both in spoken terms and in written form. It also assists, the literacy project. For example, my committee went around the entire 7 districts of Gamai, the districts of Jakto, Indoka, Dertang, the Dud, Dorok, Ko, Jabjan, Muda, you understand, as well as Magwa, in Nasarawa State, where the Gamai are found. And we've been able to sensitize and mobilize the people. They are looking forward with great enthusiasm to the 26th of October this month, for the public dedication and presentation of the work, whose proceeds will be used again to advance the cause of the entire Bible and also the literacy project. So we are starting slowly, steadily, but surely we'll get to the destination desired.
That's lovely.
Yes.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you very much, Sir Ari. Now, we have just about 2 more minutes to go on this very program today. Of course, you are that one person who would not love to have you leave without just anything you have for the people. Generally, Plateau people are your people, and you belong to Plateau as well. So what do you have for the Plateau people before we say bye-bye on this program, sir?
Okay. First of all, I would like to thank Unity FM for, providing the platform for us to express ourselves as a people. And secondly, the Plateau people, the peace we've had, is one priceless commodity that we should maintain. Right. There is nothing as great as peace, because no development takes place where there is chaos. But with peace, development would take place, and a lot of people would also come in, and there will be investments in the state, and the state will grow. The unanimity of purpose amongst our people is such that, we are one and the same people. We are a great people. People love Plateau. You go out there, people love Jos, people love Plateau, because our people are friendly, are hospitable, and are generous. So that would be the hallmark upon which we launch Plateau out to the rest of the world. So an atmosphere of chaos would not work, for the development of the state. And we must also realize that we must synergize, with other parts of the country, because we do not exist in isolation. We are not an island. We need others to grow. And honestly, we must support one another, so that Plateau will be greater and the people will be happy.
All right, that's lovely. Thank you very much, sir. I end today's edition with this 2 text messages. This one said, good morning, CB, PB, and Sir J.A., that is Sir Joseph Ari. And he said, to reduce poverty, we have to deal with HHESPTCC, human capital, health, education, security, trust, power, corruptions, and contented with little while be rich and supporting one another. So what is the meaning of have you eaten in Gamai? Be a good neighbor and of a good character. And it's coming from Hassan Garba. Thank you, Hassan Garba. The last I'll be reading is says, good morning, Mr. Kobe. Good morning, Professor, and your guest. Honestly speaking, most of the people are not lazy, but most of the leaders are taking advantage of the national resources to be shared amongst them. Please, how can we eradicate poverty? Indeed, I love people speaking their native tongue because it's a blessing. Thank you at Ismail Isa and Shanu. And that's the much we'll be taking on today's edition of Unity Train on your radio. Thank you so much, sir, for finding it worthy to be with us in the studio.
The pleasure is mine, BT. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, and do have yourself a wonderful day ahead. From me, could be bye-bye.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your mansion.